So here's my rooster. Day before yesterday in the afternoon, I was working on the pens and I saw him stargazing. He's always been healthy, everybody else is healthy, couldn't figure out why he might be stargazing. So I thought immediately, like people say, a vitamin deficiency. And for a vitamin deficiency, somebody suggested a whole dropper full of human baby vitamins. I didn't have those, but I did have vitamin E. So I gave him a vitamin E gel cap just down the face. He took it very easily. And then someone else, a very bright person, suggested that I check his ears. And I was like, what? His ears? I've never thought about a chicken's ears much. They have them, they're there. But I agreed, just to be thorough, to check his ears. And holy cow. One ear had a small ball of gunk in it, but the other ear, on the side that he's holding downward, that side had a huge, huge ball of gunk. It had swollen the ear canal and everything. It was huge. So I massaged out the balls of gunk as gently as I could, cleaned out the ears gently as I could. Then I put a little bit of hydrogen peroxide in both ears to clean the ears out even more. And then the person had said for her chicken, she had put a solution in their ear, a wash in their ear that had antibiotics and antifungal. So I found around here that I had some Automax. It's what they used to give people for dog ear infections. So I started him on the Automax, and that was night before last. When I mess with him, his head twists, I mean, just severely, completely. But we put medicine in his ear. Yesterday, he didn't want to eat or drink at all. He sat huddled up in, to the side with his head, curled over his breast, and that's all he did all day. But I kept up with the medication, and this morning, you can see he's drinking. He's drinking quite a bit, actually, which makes sense. He didn't eat or drink all yesterday, and I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't much the day before either. So he wasn't taking the pellets. This morning, he didn't want the pellets. He wasn't eating. And I thought, when I have ear infections, or when I used to have ear infections, sometimes my throat would get involved and my throat would start to hurt. So I thought, well, maybe his throat's hurting. Maybe the pellets are too big and too rough for his throat. So I gave him some baby crumble. You'll see it in the bowl over there. He was on that baby crumble like flies on you-know-what. So I'm giving him all the baby crumble that he can eat. That's vitamin water. I had some Durvet poultry vitamins. So he's got the vitamin water, which apparently he doesn't prefer. He's playing in the regular water. And I've got some scrambled eggs on the counter cooling off. They're too hot for him yet. But I thought, warm scrambled eggs would be nice on a sore throat. So I was freaking out yesterday. This is my lead buff rooster. He's the best one I have. I think he's going to be okay. I think she saved his life. So the moral of this story is they can go stargazing apparently for several different reasons and not necessarily a vitamin deficiency. As a matter of fact, he's been eating the same food since he became an adult and he's never had a problem. He's an adult, so I'm thinking vitamin deficiency isn't all that likely. So it wasn't. It was an ear infection, a stupid ear infection, and somebody that I've talked to just lost one from stargazing, and come to find out she was swollen on the side of her head. And they think she probably had an ear infection too, and they lost her. Because if they don't eat and they don't drink, they can't go on very long like that. And if they're in pain from an ear infection, they're not going to start eating and drinking until you start resolving that issue. So I just wanted to let people know that there is another reason for the stargazing, and that if your chicken goes stargazing, you need to check it for an ear infection, because that might be the issue. And you can vitamin them up all day long, but if they've got an ear infection, the vitamins aren't going to help, and they'll end up dying from not eating and drinking. So I would hate for somebody else to lose a bird for not knowing this information. So I just wanted to put it out there. Till later, guys. Bye. Let's go take a walk. We're going to go look at my buff rooster that was stargazing. He got good enough to where he could run. He could skitter away from me in the house. And he was barely tilting his head, so I put him back out with the other birds. If he was gone from them for too long, they might react to him as a stranger in the pen and beat him up. So I didn't want to keep him out too long. That's him, right there next to the side. Hi, Goober. What you doing? What you doing, sweet boy? That's him. His head looks fairly straight now. I should get in there and check his ears, but we've had rain, and in front of the pens is a lake of mud. Look at that. The inside of the pens are pretty dry and comfortable. Oh, somebody's been arguing in the pen. Anyway, so I'm going to do that later. I'll check his ears later. I've got fuzzy slippers on. I don't want to go in the mud. See, his head's barely tilted. And they accepted him right away back into the pen. No arguments. There's his son. Dude, raise your head up. That's his son that I'm growing out to see how he turns out. The only boy I got from him this season. I didn't incubate a whole lot of eggs.